All right, step 7, we're going to monitor at least monthly for new comments. Now, what does that mean? Well, it means I want to know when people write new comments or post new reviews about me online. The easiest way for you to monitor is to set up something called Google Alerts. Now, Google Alerts are pretty good, but they're not great. They're not comprehensive. They don't really dig deep into every review site. And so while I'm going to set up these Google Alerts, and they'll send me a daily email digest of anything that was written about me online yesterday, or most anything, I still want to have a regular review, maybe a monthly review, maybe every other week, of that clerk who's sending out these emails on my behalf. Maybe I'll assign him or her the duty of going to, say, the top 10 review sites in our market and just looking twice a month to see if there's anything new that's been written about us. And we're going to need that because in step 8, we need to address all the comments. This is the final step. This is how you get to this perfect online reputation, is we're going to address all the comments, anything that's written about us, both positive and negative. Now, many review sites will allow you to post a rebuttal or a comment to reviews written about you, but others will not. And those that don't allow it, what you need to do is then you need to post a new review below it if it's a negative comment. So you cannot let negative comments stand on their own. If you leave them out there, assuming no one will see it, then consumers who read those negative comments will never know your side of the story, and they'll believe that they're true. And so you want to rebut every negative comment, and you really want to comment on every comment. You know, if somebody puts a nice comment or a nice review out there about you, you need to say, thank you, we try hard, please let us know where we can help you again, call us directly, something like that. Now, once you read a negative review online, it's time to spring into action. But slow down. Take a deep breath. See, everything that you post online is going to be there forever, just like the original review. So slow down. Gather all the facts, and if you can talk to the customer, do that, because that's important. If you can get the customer's side of the story, you know, if you just talk to your team, obviously it's always the customer's fault, right? But if you can talk to the customer and start to see it both ways, maybe, just maybe, you can resolve this amicably, right? So think about this. What if I start to gather the facts, I talk to the customer, I find out, oh, we really screwed up, and I fix it, and the customer's now happy. If you can do this, you are perfectly within your right to ask that customer to remove or amend their negative review. Now, if you can't get them to amend it or remove it, if you can't solve this amicably, you need to rebut the original review, and you need to do this in writing. Now, write it in Microsoft Word and let it sit. Why do I want you to write it in Microsoft Word? Because I want to make sure that your grammar and your spelling is correct. But let it sit. In fact, understand there's plenty of time to post a rebuttal. I don't want to let it sit for weeks, but I certainly want to let it sit overnight. And then tomorrow when I read this, I want to read this from a consumer standpoint, someone who's read the negative review and then read my rebuttal. See, I don't want to come off as sounding angry in this, right? I just want my rebuttal to explain the situation. However, I am never, ever, ever going to accuse the customer, even when the customer is at fault. Because to most people reading your review, the customer does not look like the insane person. You do when you're pointing the finger at the customer. So I'm never going to accuse. In fact, if it's warranted, I'm going to take the blame in my rebuttal. Yep, we screwed up. That's what we did. Here's a tip. I know a lot of car dealers and other businesses that will take the blame even when it's unwarranted because it makes them sound humble. So I'm going to take the blame. I'm going to say, I'm sorry. Thank you for bringing this to my attention. I didn't know this was occurring at my business, and we've rectified it so that it doesn't happen again. So really 3 things. Thank you, I'm sorry, and we've rectified it. That's how we're going to respond to every negative review. Thank you, Mr. Customer, for bringing this horrible situation to my attention. I'm sorry that this happened to you, right? Now we've rectified it so it never happens again. Here are the steps that we took. Please remember, though, be factual in your response and keep personalities out of it. If applicable, offer to rectify it in the base of the review. Let's say that we couldn't get a hold of the customer. We don't know which customer it was. And we really don't know how to rectify it because maybe it's something where they felt like they got mistreated at your business and they got a lousy product and your company wouldn't take it back. You need to offer to rectify it. Please call me directly so that I can issue you a refund ASAP. And put your phone number in the review. Now, remember, we've got to address all the comments. And before we post this literary masterpiece, right, this great rebuttal that we've written, let's let someone else read it. Someone with a conscience, someone who's not us, perhaps someone who can tell us when we're being idiots, right? So if we're the leader of the business, there's usually someone, usually a clerk, a secretary, a wife, a husband, somebody who can say to us, hey, you're being an idiot. Don't post this like this. Let someone else proofread it. Let them edit it if they need to, right? Because remember, whatever you write online will be online forever, just like the original review. So to recap, can you really go from bad to great? Can you really take this horrible online reputation and make it a great reputation? You can, depending on the number of truly satisfied customers that you're able to identify and ask to review you. Now, for most small to medium-sized businesses, this means you can expect to add between 5 and 30 positive reviews online each and every month. Now, realize that. That's a lot of reviews. Some of you may only have half a dozen reviews today. So within a couple of weeks, you can double your reviews online, and all of those new reviews should be 5-star stellar reviews. Because remember, we're not just trying to cover this up. We're not just trying to perfume a pig. We're fixing this, right? Step 3, we're going to fix all of our problems. So it doesn't take stellar math skills to know that it only takes a couple of months to really turn your online reputation around dramatically if you'll follow these 8 simple steps. Thank you.